What is the difference really between Kundalini awakening and spiritual awakening?
The answer is nothing. They're the same. But there are some distinctions in the sense that, let's remind ourselves of you and your experience of this. You had a big blast awakening, didn't you?
Yeah.
So we'd call this a Kundalini awakening. A powerful energy opened up inside of you, something you've never really experienced before. Bam, here it is, straight in your face. That's Kundalini. A spiritual awakening is the thing that continues to happen after that Kundalini awakening. Kundalini awakening is a big blast. Now, it was the same with me. We can then become arrogant after that and think, oh, the work's done. We recognize it isn't, because there's still a lot of crap inside of us, right? And so we refine ourselves, and that's part of the reason why we do the yoga, because that will do the work that you can't consciously do on your own. But really, if we could define it this way, spiritual awakening is the slow, gradual build-up awakening. Kundalini awakening is a big pop.
Gotcha.
But both are the same, because a slow, gradual spiritual awakening will lead, most likely, to larger energy inside. Mm-hmm. Now, a bigger Kundalini awakening can actually be disastrous for people. It was for me for a while.
Yeah.
So whatever happens, however you get on this journey, is not irrelevant, but in this sense that I'm going to explain it, irrelevant, because if you have a big Kundalini awakening and you haven't earned it, like me and you,
yeah,
then you have to do the spiritual awakening, the slow, gradual process afterwards. The ego, and I know it, if it's in me, it's probably in you. The ego grabs hold of the experience and wants to have it again and again and again and again, and it will chase it and it will look for it and it will not find it. Mm-hmm. And so then the person, we'll just use these words, the person that happens to then has a funky few years. Now, you're lucky in the sense that you've had a firework awakening, because once in a while you'll get another big burst of energy inside. Yeah. And it seems to be that it's the most ignorant of us, don't take this personally, that get a big firework awakening, because otherwise we'd have never gone down this path.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, we have to do the work now.
Yeah.
And that's the spiritual awakening element and the yoga. But go on.
Gotcha. Yeah. So that kind of leads me, and I don't want to, I got questions. So
we have loads of time, man. And remember, time is never an issue here. We just get the work done. That's all we need to do. If we run short, if we run over, it doesn't matter.
Okay, great. So yeah, like I've noticed a huge energetic aspect to this. Now, when you say disastrous, for me, I didn't know what was going on with me. And this energy was perceived at first, or was experienced as complete terror, because it was like my ego was, like my brain was like, Mayday, like something's going on.
Yeah, yeah.
And so like it was, I thought I was gonna die. Like I never was suicidal ever in my whole life, ever. Never really dealt with like deep depression, but like I got to a place where I was like, I didn't even know what was happening. And the darkest place I could have ever imagined, daily nervous breakdowns. Like it was just really bad. And then I had like a real pop, where it was like stuff started to get really mystical. Like I was like actually hallucinating and like things where I thought I was going schizophrenic and stuff. And like, I thought I was losing my mind. But then I went online and I discovered what was going on with me, and it all resonated so deeply. And, so like, yeah, it was terrifying. And you talked about it, and I was going to bring it up too, is like, I've been getting just waves of bliss, it's definitely calmed down now. Yeah. The me feeling like I wasn't on planet Earth, but like, I remember when I went to Florida, like I just was just getting on the plane and I just got this like bliss. I mean, like overwhelming love and bliss and all this stuff. And it's been coming and going. And like you just said, for me, it's like, I feel like, oh, when the bliss goes, or I'm like falling back into an old pattern, maybe it's like, oh, did the awaken, like, because I've gotten kind of used to that energetic aspect and that feeling. When I feel disconnected, I'm like, oh, did the awakening leave me, or did I do something wrong? Yeah. Did the process stop? And then I look at like old patterns in my mind coming up. I'm like, oh, if I actually had an awakening, that should be gone. You know what I mean? Like things like that.
Yeah. And that's what I mean by we haven't earned it. You haven't done anything wrong. This is your destiny. Clearly it's happened. And so now we have to train. We just train. And you're lucky. I don't say this arrogantly, and I don't mean it arrogantly either, but you and I are lucky that we have somebody who is further ahead than us to sort of keep us in line, if that makes sense. I wouldn't have been able to do this without my teacher. Some spiritual teachers say you don't need a teacher. And I'm like, no, I needed a teacher. If I didn't have a teacher, I don't know where this would have gone.
Yeah.
Really, I don't know where this would have gone. So don't worry, nothing's going wrong. That feeling of bliss and ecstasy will ebb and flow for a while. What I will say is when it's there, absorb it.
Yeah.
Just absorb it. Stay in it. Feel it. Enjoy the energy that you're made of. And then when it goes, watch the ego. Observe it, because it will come in, won't it? And it will try and convince you that something's gone wrong. Well, if you believe that, then something hasn't gone wrong, but that's just that you're believing it. And then goodbye energy. Cut off at source, isn't it? Because then you're in the mind again. Hello.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
This journey is just about becoming more and more conscious. And you never know. We never know when we're going to go bang again.
Yeah, that's so true. It's so true. Like, I didn't mean to cut you off, but like
you didn't. Don't worry.